J.J. Pena. Number 8, at first base, Ethan Rincon. Number 11, pitching tonight, Joaquin Gutierrez. Number 5, out at third base, Austin Pedrosa. Catching tonight, number 2, George Ramirez. Out in right field, number 3, Paul Maldonado. At second base, number 0, Dylan Garcia. And the designated hitter tonight is number 13, Roel Martinez. The rest of the Donna Redskins lineup is number 6, Juan Garza. Number 7, Elias Lara. Number 9, Elias Guerrero. Number 14, Rene Maldonado. And number 16, Jeffrey Lefevre. And number 32, Alan Jimenez. And now, your Weslaco East Wildcats. Leading off tonight, number 8, Alex Solis. Batting second, number 9, Fabian Trujillo. Number 12, behind the plate, catching tonight, number 12, Jody Rodriguez. Number 23, Nate Rivas. He'll be out at third base tonight. Number 11, Joseph Perez at first base. Number 4, Margarito Pompa. He'll be out at center field. Number 7, Tony Solis, playing out at left field. Number 10, Edward Villa. Edward will be at second base tonight. Number 3, Samuel Covarrubias, out at right field, I'm sorry. And number 2, Lalo Hernandez is the designated hitter. The rest of the Wildcat lineup is number 14, Ryan Escamilla. Number 18, Adam Alejandro. Number 1, Aiden Gonzalez. Number 13, Andy Rodriguez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please rise and remove all headgear for the playing of our national anthem.
Last name. And a fine good evening to you and yours. We are live on the campus of Weslaco East High School, bringing you a 32-5A matchup. It's a late season matchup, and really, it's an important one for Weslaco East, and really, it's an important one for the Donna Redskin program as well. Why? Well, we'll talk about that as the game goes along. But tonight we have a treat, bringing you this live from, as we mentioned, home of the Wildcats. That's right, home of the Wildcats, Weslaco East High School is where we're at. It's a live program. Tell your friends about it. It's happening on the WISD webpage, a Facebook page, and it's also available on YouTube for WISD. So tell them if they want to watch an excellent picture tonight, excellent team, this is the place to be. We'll hang on for this one. This Alex Solis, a touted player that has really become a excellent pitcher, excellent athlete here for Weslaco East. We'll talk about him as the game develops. He's him on the mound, warming up now, number 8 for the Weslaco East. He's a commit to the University of Houston already, so you know he's pretty good, to say the least. And the rest of his teammates, well, they're pretty good too. As a matter of fact, Mike Brown is the head skipper here for the Wildcats. They have a record of 13-1. Yeah, the Weslaco Wildcats are going to be wearing white tonight. You see them there warming up. And they only have one blemish throughout the season. As a matter of fact, I'll even go far enough to say the only loss they had that just happened a couple of days ago, which we'll really talk about as well. Coach Brown had some thoughts about that. Really, the only loss that happened was back in March during a Mission High tournament. That was the last time the Wildcats had lost any type of game, district, non-district tournament. So it's been a while. What did they do? What did this do to them, this loss? Well, we were talking to Coach Brown. We'll tell you, he feels that this was an eye-opening experience. We'll talk about what some of the players had to say and really what to expect here this evening. On the other side, we have Coach J.J. Peña, Jaime Peña, coming in with the Redskins. The Redskins coming in with a 4-9 record. Now, he will tell you that they're not happy with their record, but he will tell you also that he feels that even though they have the record of 4-9, he says, look, a couple of things. First of all, we are playing with some of the top teams in the state in 5A. That is true. And he has one of them here this evening. And he said, look, we just played some good competition. Things didn't go the way we wanted them to, but that's not an excuse of any kind for Coach Peña and the rest of the Redskins. So tonight, trying to pull an upset at the beginning of a series here happening, 1 out of 2. The next one will be in Donna coming up later this week. Donna Redskins are trying to pull off an upset, would be. Not anything having in the playoffs really headed for them, but if anything else, trying to end the season. This series will end the season for the Redskins. If I'm not mistaken, they have one more. We'll talk about that as well, but at least here for Weslaco. We're about to get the first pitch underway. Alex Solis is at the mound. First person to come up for batter for the Redskins is Bocanegra. First pitch is a strike right down the middle, and if you listen carefully, now I got to give props to Don Ramirez and Rafael Garces, our audio-visual guys. They've set up a special mic to see if we can hear the speed of that ball. They're laughing at me together with me, maybe at me. But the fact is that when the ball comes, you can really hear it. And that's something we're going to try to kind of focus on here as he comes up with the other pitch. Strike one for him. Make that strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here early on for Bocanegra. We're just starting. Welcome to it if you're just joining us. A 32-5A matchup here on the campus of Strongside. That's right, Eastside High School is where we're located. This pitch as well, a little bit high. Count now of 2-2. So let's talk a little bit about Coach Brown, the head coach here, head skipper for quite some time here with the Wildcats, and talking to him can't help. And here comes that pitch. He's going to strike him out. Solis retires Leo Bocanegra on a strikeout for him with his first at-bat. It'll be the first strikeout here for Solis, so we'll mark that down. Talking about Coach Brown as the next player comes up, that's Ashton Garcia, your left fielder here this evening. For the Redskins, you mentioned, look, we've had a good season, obviously, you can see by the record, but that, you never forget, especially in district, as Solis winds up. Ball 1 outside. And he mentions basically that this past week had a game and that played against Edcouch Chelsea, and that was at Edcouch. That was your first strike to Garcia. 1-1 the count. 1 out already for Solis. And he said it was an eye-opener. It really was for the team. They haven't suffered any losses during the district portion of the schedule. You see strike number 2 as Solis really starting to crank up now. And he basically said, look, the athletes, the young guys here couldn't, it's a feeling that you don't like. It's another strike, and he strikes him out. It's going to make 2 for him on the night there for Solis.
Redskins, number 15.
So this evening they wanted to focus, and I asked him, so Coach, tell us a little bit about what you want to do here this evening. You've got a team who's got nothing to lose. They've got some good athletes. He agreed with that. What do you think? He says, well, that's what he said, we've got to buckle down. We've got to focus on what we're trying to do here. Pitch coming straight. Strike one. Rodriguez is the catcher here for Weslaco East here this evening. George outside there. So Coach Brown, we're just talking about the fact that he's kind of understanding that these guys have to put things together. As Joey Rodriguez is your catcher here this evening. Gonna be 2 balls and a strike here. Now the count for Solis. So I think you're going to see a focused team, a team that understands that, hey, if you take a night off, and not necessarily a night off, but you have a night, as Coach Brown has mentioned, not much hitting happened. There's another one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out already quickly here
Ball 2, strike 2.
by Solis. And basically says, look, we've really got to focus and we've got to put things together and understand that we can't take anybody lightly. And that's the goal here this evening. He says, look, we've had a little bit of a hiccup, couldn't do what we wanted to do. And so we've gone back to practice and fixed some of that, and they felt that they could come out and get that bad taste out of their mouths after the first loss of the season for the Wildcats. 3-2 pitch, right down the middle. Gets him again. That'll be 3 strikeouts there for Solis. That'll retire that side. Coming up for Weslaco East now is their first at bat, and they're going to get to see Solis come up and get things done here, as basically 3 straight batters came up, and as soon as they came up, they went down. Out really strikeouts for all of these players. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more action here on KWES.
While we're at it, folks, we want to invite you to head on out to the concession stand. They got nachos, drinks, candy, all kinds of goodies for you tonight. Along with that, we want to thank our signature sponsor, First Care EMS. They've been providing exceptional medical service to our community for many years. We're proud to have them as our partner. And we also want to recognize our Hall of Fame sponsors, Don Weslaco, Triumph Physical Therapy, and Mr. Weslaco. They've been consistent supporters of the Wildcat Baseball Organization, and they've helped us bring meaningful change to our community. Thank you to our sponsors for their generosity and continued support. We couldn't do it without you guys.
Back to the action here. Home of the Wildcats is the place we're at, Weslaco East High School. 32-5A matchup late in the season. Weslaco East still has a definitely good chance to be district champs. And by the way, outright in the past, they've shared titles. I don't think they want to do that anymore. But we'll mention how, we mentioned at the beginning anyway, that this game was important. And the reason why it's important, and we look at the standings here in a bit, obviously Weslaco East is at the top of the standings, but there's only a couple of games between them and the next play, or the next team in Brownsville Veterans. We'll talk about that in detail coming up in a bit, but it's just going to be the middle of the first here. We're about to go into the bottom of the first. First at bat for Weslaco East, and that's going to bring the pitcher, Alex Solis, to come up. He's one of their leaders here on the team, and he's had a batting average. We're doing some of the numbers at about 474. One of the top leaders in stolen bases on the team as well, with 9 stolen bases. So gets on plate, gets some hits, and he comes around and brings some of his friends home. He's a good pitcher too, by the way. First one for Solis. The pitcher here this evening for Donna High is Joaquin Gutierrez, young freshman. As a matter of fact, we spoke to Coach Peña about starting a freshman against this lineup of the Weslaco East Wildcats. And there's one right down the middle there. It's going to head over towards right field, right between the shortstop and the third baseman. And that's what we talked about, that he's on base average is ridiculous. The numbers are just great for him. We're going to switch here, and we're going to get a pinch runner here for Solis as he'll continue to get ready for his next endeavor, which is pitching, coming in for him. As we see, we have other players coming in. We'll identify that in just a minute. For Weslaco East, now up to bat is Lalo Hernandez, the DH. Trying to steal a base there at second, and looks like he is going to be safe. I was trying to get there, and he finally did. Nice steal there. Wildcats taking a base here, going to first base. Double check, that's Aiden Gonzalez taking a break. Umpire called the time here. Talking about Joaquin Gutierrez and the thought that he's just a young freshman going up against a team that can really put some offensive things together, as we see the designated hitter Lalo Hernandez coming up. Lalo does that better than anybody, really, when he comes up. That's why he's a designated hitter. And that is going to go out of the ballpark. Lalo Hernandez with a 2-run home run for Lalo Hernandez. And that's the way he gets his first time at bat. 2 runs by Lalo. That's going to get the crowd going. And the rest of his teammates there. Everybody coming out to congratulate him. Didn't get to speak much to Coach Brown, but when he said, look, we're going to insert him in the designated hitter, he's always got a plan there, and boy, did he. 2-run home run in the bottom of the first, is when we had problems develop for the Redskins. And that's what we were talking about with Coach Peña, starting a freshman, against a team in a lineup like this, as we now see Joey Rodriguez, the catcher for Weslaco East. Now, Joey Rodriguez, him and Andy brothers, as you all know, he's another commit for junior college. Good player. 394 batting average. He can do some damage as well. Waits for his next pitch, which is a ball. 2 balls. No strike. No outs, by the way, as the bottom of the first is where, again, Lalo Hernandez at bat brought Aiden Gonzalez around, made it 2-0 for Weslaco East. Comes the pitch now. He popped up to center field. Have an opportunity is Peña back there, and Peña will take care of that one away for the Redskins. Outside there, the no-fly zone anyway. Peña, Ashton Garcia, and Maldonado are back there for the Redskins in the outfield. Here at the plate, exciting character, Nathan Rivas, coming in, a senior for Weslaco East, coming up. And also a senior and a player that has been with the program for some time. As a matter of fact, we talked to Coach Brown about the experience that not just Rivas brings, but Antonio, which will come up, Joey. Nate started as a sophomore playing varsity ball. A lot of experience from this young man. 0-1 pitch, 1 out. Steps out for a second. So Coach Peña mentioned, yeah, we're going to start a pitcher. It's trying to throw him in the fire. And he felt comfortable with a couple of things that he could do. He says he's got a nice slider as that's fouled to the left. And so they're looking to develop some of these young players here. Right? Majority for the Redskins, it's a senior-led team. But you do have some freshmen. As a matter of fact, he mentioned a couple of those young freshmen that he kind of relies on here towards the end of the season. Had some injuries, the Redskins didn't help their cause either in a very good district. Just got back Austin Pedrosa, one of their better players we haven't seen quite yet. He's still yet to come up later. He's back on the team, but not 100%. So you lose players like that, as that's going to be popped up in the center field. Again, Peña's going to have to go get it, and Peña does. Nicely done there.
And we're up there at center field again. 2 outs.
Center fielder has been busy here this evening
Perez.
for the Redskins as 2 are down. Damage has been done, though. Bottom of the first, as you saw Lalo Hernandez bring back Aiden Gonzalez. Made it 2-0. That's where we stand. So now we see the next batter up. Perez. Joseph Perez playing first base. Young man who has demonstrated some power as well at times. See how he does here this evening against Gutierrez. First pitch. That'll be kind of looped into second base, and second baseman will make a play on that, and they'll retire the side. Nice play there by Dylan Garcia to put this away. The damage was done, though. Lalo Hernandez with a home run, two-run home run that he was able to hit, made it 2-0. Bottom of the first. We are headed to the second. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back with more action here on KWES. All right, welcome back to the action. 32-5A matchup. Really a series here that has just begun. Starts this evening. Playing here at the Wildcat Field on the high school of Strong Side. East side. Then they head back to Donna to finish this one off. That'll be happening Friday. Be the last one on the 21st would be the ending the series in Donna. Solis back of the mound, about to start the second inning. And he starts just where he left off with a strike. New batter, same result here for the Redskins. Coming up to bat. Ball escapes there. Looks like Alan Jimenez is the one batting here this evening. Inserted in the lineup here. Pitch right in the middle. Get a strike there, and he will get called out.
On a curveball there.
As Alan Jimenez goes down swinging, strike out.
Number 11.
That'll be 4 strikeouts here so far for Alex Solis on the night. And just kind of getting started here as well. Comes Ethan Rincon now. Batter coming up. Ethan. Check that. That is Joaquin Gutierrez now. Has a 1-1 out here for Solis and the rest of the Wildcats. King Gutierrez is the pitcher for the Redskins tonight. Pitch away. That'll be strike number 2. 1-2 count. 1 out. Again, Solis has been in control here from the beginning of this game, basically, just early on here in the second inning. Strike him out again. I'll give you another one. That's going to give him his 5th strikeout of the night. And that'll strike out Ethan Gutierrez. Will have a new coming up now is number 5, Austin Pedrosa. He's the one that we were talking about. He was part of this team last year and was successful. But unfortunately, injuries, as Coach Peña mentioned early in the broadcast, we said that he's not 100%, but he's out there trying to fight through it. One of their top players here for them. Most of the season he has been out anyway. He takes a first strike, and he takes another one. 0-2. And 2 out here. Top of the second for Solis. 2 runs scored in the bottom of the first for the Wildcats. Gives the score of 2-0 here early on. Solis with the windup. Right down the middle. Done goes Pedrosa with another strikeout. And that'll give him 6 on the night here for Solis. Again, has to be impressive. Every batter that he's had struck him out, and that'll end it as well. Heading to the bottom of the second. Quick moving game here. Live from the home of the Wildcats. Live on KWES. Yeah, that's what I figured. Ethan Rincon, right? Yeah, Ethan Rincon. Got it. Thank you, sir. Yeah. All right, back to the action here on the campus of Weslaco East High School. Live broadcast with KWES. Tell your friends as the Wildcats have taken an early lead. Home run. That's right. Happened by Lalo Hernandez, the designated hitter. He was able to get him and his friend Aiden Gonzalez around, made it 2-0. That's where we stand. Bottom of the second now. New batter coming up. That's Pompa coming up, the center fielder now. Margarito Pompa will try to add to that lead, and Gutierrez is your pitcher for the Redskins. Comes the pitch. Nice looking strike there to start off against Pompa. Talking about the Redskins and really next week, and we'll kind of talk about this because, well, this week they have this series, and there's another one, strike 2. They closed their season with a series against Edcal Chelsea. Now, the Redskins are playing to have a strong season and send off their seniors on a good note. really get some experience with some of these younger ones, like we're seeing Gutierrez here, the young freshman at the mound, comes with the next pitch. Just contact there by Pompa, 0-2. That inning, or that series against Edcouch Elsa will be very important to Edcouch. They were the only team that's put a blemish, if you would, on the record for Weslaco East last week. That's done and basically over. Comes that curve again, and he's going to get him. Strike three there for Gutierrez. We'll get him. First one for him here this evening. A strikeout for the young freshman. And a strikeout there for Margarito Pompa. Tony Solis, younger brother of Alex Solis now. Yeah, we were talking about freshman. He's a freshman himself. Future for the Wildcats looks awfully bright with his young team. He's going to catch the corner on that curve. It's going to be a strike. One out here for Gutierrez. Solis, one of the two. Grounder right down the middle, hits the mound. Will go right over second base for a hit single there for Solis. Solis does a good job of being able to get himself on base. Let some of his friends help him out a little bit. We mentioned the brother of Alex. And Tony can play a couple of positions. He can pitch, obviously. Outfielder is where he starts, but he can also do some catching. So, multi-talented athlete here for the Wildcats. As we now see Edward Villa, second baseman, next up at bat for him. First appearance. Here in the second inning. Trying to take a base, and will. We mentioned that he's a good pitcher, catcher, and he can steal some bases as well. It's got some speed on him. So Mario Pompa just struck out earlier. Tony Solis got himself a single here in the bottom of the second. We're looking for Villa now to continue the hitting streak. Solis thought about it. Here comes the count now at 1-1. One out here for Gutierrez. So yeah, the Redskins still have, obviously, tonight, as Villa sees a strike there, strike number 2. And the finalizer with Edcouch, and we said Edcouch is in the battle for the fourth and final spot in 32-5A to head into the playoffs. So they're going to have to beat this Redskin team at least once for sure, maybe twice. Just depends on how Edcouch does. Tip ball. Keep in mind that Edcouch Elsa and Harlingen South, another team that's head for the playoffs, will be meeting tonight. And so they start their series. So that's going to be an important one for Edcouch. Might open the door for Brownsville Lopez, which, by the way, is the next series that Weslaco East will conclude their season with against Brownsville Lopez. Comes the pitch. Chases that one, and he's going to get called out on that one. Strike out there for Gutierrez. Villa will take a seat on a strikeout here at the bottom of the second. Getting to the bottom of the lineup here as we have Samuel Covarrubias now coming up, the right fielder for the Wildcats. Looks like Gutierrez has been able to settle down just a little bit. Kind of started a little shaky there. It's the youngster here. One of the first games he starts here as a freshman against a tough team. He's hanging in there here in the second. Just a runner now at second base. Helping to keep him there is Gutierrez. Bottom of the lineup here for Weslaco East. Covarrubias, Ball, no strikes yet. It's going to be just a bit outside there. Ball 2 now for Gutierrez. One of the things we asked Coach Peña as we were talking, the hit man over at Donna, as he looks at a strike as Covarrubias. 2-1 is the count, 2 away now. He mentioned, look, we don't make excuses for our record. 4-9 is where we're at. Again, we already mentioned the fact that we're in a tough district, but he says injuries played a big role, and then, to be honest, we have. Oh, that's going to catch the corner. Strike number 2. Nice pitch there by Gutierrez. And he said, look, we lost some of our players here to other sports, so depleted a little bit of our pool of athletes on the baseball team. But again, Coach Peña just putting together what he has. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to be swung out. Covarrubias will hit it right into right field. That's going to bring in Solis. Tony Solis will score from second here in the bottom of the second. Solis is in for run number 3. Nice hit there by Covarrubias. All he needed was to make contact, and he did. Nice single for Covarrubias, bottom of the second there. Covarrubias, basically that's what they were telling them. They just needed to get the ball there and play. Reich trying to take a steal. They have a shot at second. It's going to drop the ball. It's going to have Covarrubias go and take an extra base, and he's going to go all the way to third. They had an opportunity there. Really a good throw. Just got away from the shortstop. Couldn't quite get there. And that gave Covarrubias an extra one. Up to third. In position now for another one. Only one strike here. 2 outs, though. He fouled away. Top of the order now as we see Alex Solis. It's the bottom of the second for him. Last time he was here, we got a single. See what he does here in the bottom of the second. We'll see what Gutierrez does. Comes the pitch. Solis is really trying to get something, trying to get underneath it a little bit. Kind of figured they're kind of coming in and then kind of going a little bit outside if you watch the ball there. 2 strikes, 2 outs for Solis. Trying to limit the points here as Gutierrez trying not to give up another one. That's going to be right down the line, third base, and he's going to come across. Covarrubias now will give him there, and he will try to get there, and he is going to be safe. Beat the throw was Solis. Nicely done. He was able to get there and get a double for Solis. Solis has had a good night here. 2 come in as Covarrubias comes in as well. That'll give you your 4 runs. Gonzalez, Lalo Hernandez, Tony Solis, and Covarrubias. It's going to go foul away. Strike 1. Lalo Hernandez, the designated hitter, last time he came, boy, he started the rally of the runs. He had a home run. But Gonzalez back after Gonzalez did some damage on the bases, took a couple. Comes again, pitch shot outside. Now it's going to catch the corner there. It's a strike there for Hernandez. Gutierrez is trying to avoid getting another run come in here. It's 4-0 now. 2 runs in the first, bottom of the first, 2 runs in the bottom of the second. And it's both have happened right around this area of the lineup for East. Solis, Hernandez. Solis gives up the base running to Gonzalez. He's fast. Steals a couple of bases, gets himself in a scoring position. That's what they've been able to do here this evening. Pitch. Going souvenir for somebody here. It's away. Weslaco East 13-1 is their record here. Said only one loss came to Ed Couch Elsa last week. Coach Brown said this team has moved on. Have they? Wanted to focus on the Redskins here this evening. On the pitch. Popped up to Gutierrez. Gutierrez has a chance at first. He's going to throw it out at first. Is Covarrubias, and that'll end it. Stranded runner up is Gonzalez at second. Covarrubias with a out. But the damage was done. Bottom of the second, 2 runs. Covarrubias and Solis are in. Make it 4-0. That is your score. As we head to the third, we'll take a timeout. You are watching KWES. All right, welcome back to home of the Wildcats on the campus of Weslaco East. It is a KWES broadcast of this 32-5A matchup between the Donna Redskins and your Weslaco East. The Wildcats score now 4-0. We'll recap just in case you're just joining us coming up in a little bit. The Redskins now heading to the top of the third, looking for some offense. Trying to get it with George Ramirez here as they're going to go to the top of the third and see if they can get something going. The catcher for this Redskins team. First pitch by Solis is a fast one coming right down the middle there for strike number 1 here for Ramirez. Talk a little bit about the Redskin program and what Coach Peña wants to accomplish and, you know, what's happened during the season. Let's talk a little bit about the Wildcats and what they've been able to accomplish. We started talking about them right before the side was retired, and there's another strikeout there for Solis. Officially number 7 there for him. For Solis. That'll do it for Ramirez. Strikeout. Paul Maldonado now, first time at bat here this evening, trying to get things going. Paul Maldonado. See if we can do something. Strike number 1 here. Paul is a senior for the Redskin team. Pitch a little bit inside. Ball 1. Strike 1. 1 out here for the Wildcats. So the standings here, as we're talking about the teams here, and we talked to Coach Brown about the playoffs, and he emphatically said, yep, we're not even thinking about that yet. Nowhere near. And, you know, you have to ask the question just because of the fact that, you know, your team, even if that hopefully doesn't happen, but if you were to lose every single game, you still have a strong possibility in the playoffs and be one of the top seeds. Grounder. Quickly handled there. First baseman Tags out, and it's going to be out there. Nicely played there
2 out.
by Nathan Rivas. Out at first was Maldonado.
For Donna, number 13, Roel Martinez.
So now we have a designated hitter for the Redskins. 13 now. Roel Martinez, the senior DH for the Redskins, trying to jumpstart his offense. 2 outs though already here in the top of the third. He's a strike there, going right down the middle there. So not thinking about the playoffs, focusing on tonight's matchup, beginning of the series. Ball 1. And really, he says, look, we got to, I know we say this, but you take it a game at a time, because as strike 2 comes, you can very easily lose a game or two if you're not paying attention. So that got the Wildcats' attention, focused, and hopefully making a run here in the playoffs and end up as district champions. They have a great opportunity, as we mentioned already tonight. Harlingen South and Ed Couch also are basically playing for the third place spot, kind of, for sure fourth if Ed Couch can win. Grounder handed there nicely, second baseman out at first, and that'll retire the side. Nothing there for the Redskins. And after 3, heading to the middle, bottom of the 3 on the way as well. It is your Wildcats 4, Redskins 0. Wildcats at bat coming up next here on KWES. From home of the Wildcats, that's right, on the campus of Weslaco East. A 4-0 game here so far in this late season matchup. And going into the bottom of the third now, the damage has been done. Look at the score here. We'll give you a recap. 2 runs in the bottom, 2 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 runs in the bottom of the second, and we'll follow suit here in the third. We'll see. Batter up is Joey Rodriguez here, as he'll take a shot at it. Last time he was here, had a fly out. Chases that one. That's going to be tipped. Strike 1. We're talking about the Wildcats. And really 13-1, best for first place here in District 32 5A. Brownsville veterans, we said these games are important. No wonder Coach Brown didn't want to talk about the playoffs as we await the next pitch here by Gutierrez. Just outside. Ball 1. Brownsville Vets in second place with a 12-2 record. Yeah, right behind the Brownsville Veterans, right behind East. So yeah, these games are very important to East as well if they want the outright district championship here in a couple of weeks. Comes the pitch. It's going to get hold of by Rodriguez. Rodriguez is going to send it high and away, and that is going to go over the fence. Bottom of the third. It looked like it might not clear it from here. But boy, Joey Rodriguez, home run with a solo shot here for Rodriguez. Joey Rodriguez with a homer by himself. Nobody on base, but he'll take it, as that'll increase the lead to 5-0 here in the bottom of the third. And the streak continues, if we want to call it that. The points coming in the bottom of the second, and they're coming in twos. That's the point. Nate Rivas now up to bat after a home run there by Joey Rodriguez. He probably wants to get into the action as well. Bottom of the third here for Rivas. Comes the pitch. Swings at it. It's going to touch the bat there. Good for strike one for Gutierrez. Gutierrez winds up and pitches again. Just outside there for Rivas. And so we were going over the district records. East 13-1, Brownsville Veterans 12-2. Harlingen South at 11-3, right behind Veterans. Just a couple of games, but remember, Weslaco East does own the tiebreaker or any type of, if it ended with the same record, because they've beaten both series, Brownsville Veterans and Harlingen South. So that's the good news on that. And then in the fourth spot, Edco Chelsea with an 8-4 record. We already mentioned Harlingen South and Edco Chelsea playing tonight. That's an important game. They want to stay in play, or the Yellow Jackets. It's going to hit right down the line, and it's going to stay fair. Has an opportunity to get a couple. Here is Nate. He's going to have to hustle. He's going to have to move. He's going to get there to second base. A stand-up double there for Nate Rivas. Nice looking hit. Gets there, gets on his horse, and gets there. Nate Rivas with a double here for Nate Rivas. We write that down as we're keeping track of what's happening here and bringing it to you. I think they want to talk to Gutierrez a little bit. You know, young freshman going up against a strong lineup that the Wildcats bring. You know, that's a challenge. You probably want to talk about what's happening at the plate. So as they kind of talk about things, we'll finish off our thoughts with the top four teams. East, Veterans, Harlingen South, and Edco Chelsea. But wait a minute. Brownsville Lopez is looking in. Brownsville Lopez is at 7-7. They take on Mercedes here this evening. They start their series against them. So that's an important one as well. And then, of course, they end the season with the last series matchup against your Weslaco East Wildcats. Tougher road for, obviously, for Lopez, but stranger things have happened, as we've known to say. So that's your rundown of District 32-5A. Coming back now is Josh Pettis, Joseph Pettis, the first baseman. Last time he was on flew out. It's a 5-0 game, so if things go the way they've been going, we might see another run here. It's outside. Ball one. Nate Rivas is in second. He's on second. Pettis is home plate trying to bring him home and increase this lead. Gutierrez brings it up, and he's going to hit the hitter. Good thing he ducked there, kind of got the back of the helmet there. Pettis seems to be okay. That pitch was just off there from the beginning. Is an advertent pitch. He just lost control of it. Pettis will get there to first. And now you have runners at first and runners at second. And Margarito Pompa comes up. Last time he was on, they better get to third base. Nope, check that. He was able to get on and strike out. The trainer's going to take a quick look at at Perez, and he should. I might have caught him right underneath the helmet, right around the collar area. That'll probably leave a mark. But you're not worried about the mark. You're just worried about if there's anything else that happened. But the trainer, Joseph, is a tough character, no doubt. He's telling the trainer, hey, it's okay. All right. Just caught, you heard really when it caught the helmet, and good thing that it did. And it looks like it stopped any type of injury of any type, which is great to see. Again, inadvertent pitch there by Gutierrez. Perez is all right on first. Nate is hanging out on second. And Pompa wants to bring all these guys home. Comes the pitch by Gutierrez. They want him to make some sort of, oh, he's going to try to steal second. Oh, they almost caught him stealing. He was able to get back on time. I don't think Nate thought that Gutierrez was watching him. Took a big lead on the base. He just got himself all dirty. That's all that happened. That's all right. Comes the pitch by Gutierrez. Yeah, Pompa's looking to bunt. They're going to try to get him there now. Again, taking a big lead here. Is Rivas. That's just interesting to see him kind of. He's a big fella. He's getting a workout here this evening, trying to take a base. 0-1 is a count, nobody out. Gutierrez, just keep an eye on him. Catcher is 2. Now comes back. Nate started when he was a sophomore with his young group of seniors, Toño and some of the other ones that are here. We're all here at one point. Played together, and they've been together for quite some time. Ball's going backwards. Good for strike 2. Now, Pompa showed earlier he wanted to get the bunt on and try to make a play and sacrifice himself to get some of the other players in. See what he can do here. But here comes the pitch by Gutierrez. 0-2. He's up in the count. See what he decides to do. He's going to bring it right down the middle. Pompa is going to hit it. He's going to have a chance to first baseman. The first baseman is going to get a nice catch there. That's Rincon. Ethan Rincon with a nice catch for the first out as Pompa strikes out here in the bottom of the third. Strike out for him. Perez was able to get the first. As we saw, we're writing that down. He's got hit by the pitch. Solis now. 0-1, 1 out here for Gutierrez and the Redskins. In the words of Coach Brown here for this evening, step up, make plays. Inside there for Solis. Good for strike number 2.
0-2.
We asked Coach Brown and Coach Pena for players to watch, and they've been exciting on the east side. Coach talked about all his seniors. He said, look, all my seniors are the players to watch, and obviously the focus is on their pitcher here this evening. Alex Solis with unofficially 7 strikeouts so far in this game. Balls away. 1-2 is the count. 5-0. Again, these runs are coming in twos here late. In the bottom of the second, bottom of the first, and we have 1 in the third here so far. Comes the pitch. And get that, pop it up to the second baseman. He's going to have to hurry. He does and gets it. Going to try to tag out. and they are going to get him as well. And that'll do it for that.
And on the double play,
Out here on this double play here for the Redskins. Nice play. Will retire the side, but the damage was done. 1 run coming in. Brings you a new score here from Weslaco East High School. It is 5-0 in favor of the Wildcats. We'll be right back with more action here on KWES. All right, welcome back to the action at Weslaco East High School as we're at live broadcast for you. Happy to bring you along with us. It's a game that no doubt has some implications in the district, but we focused on Alex Solis here this evening on what he's been able to accomplish here so far. 7 strikeouts unofficially for Solis. All goes back as you have now a new batter coming up. Number 1, Leo Bocaneda, top of the 4th, brings the top of the lineup for the Redskins. Trying to put some offense together here. Shortstop for the Redskins. See if we can do something against Solis. Pitch, strike number 2. And Solis has had a excellent night, not just on the mound, but he's also participated on the offensive side of things. Pup goes backwards.
back out of play, 0-2.
Nothing there. 0-2, and just started here the top of the 4th for this Redskin team. Comes the pitch inside. Good for ball 1. 1-2 is the count. Just the recap, if you would, of the runs here that have come in for the Wildcats. Comes the pitch by Solis. Struck him out. Again, keeping track of it for you. And unofficially, again, that'll make it 8
Brings up number 4, Ashton
for
Garcia.
Solis. Strikeout there. Here in the top of the 4th for Bocanegra. Ashton Garcia now. Got Garcia on there. And he's a young player who they're looking for his senior leadership here this evening. See if we get things rolling. Nothing there.
Strike 2.
That's going to be strike number 2. 1 away. Wildcats really focused in here, especially Solis. I'll take another strike, and that'll be strikeout number 9
2 out.
for Solis. Strikeout for Ashton Garcia as well. That'll do that. Next man up, J.J. Peña. coach's son here this evening. Takes the first strike right down the middle. Fourth strikeout by Garcia, and then also Bocanegra took a strikeout. So we're at 2 outs. Outside, ball 1. So we're thinking about players to watch here. We asked Coach Peña as well, and he mentioned Bocanegra, Ashton, and JJ here as he takes another strike. And really, those 3 players have really been slowed down here this evening by Solis. They needed something here in their lineup, top of their lineup, to get things going. And nothing is there either. And that will retire the side. And with the number 10 officially for Solis, another strike out for J.J. Peña. They will do it for the top of the 4th. Coming back, get going into the bottom of the 4th, and that's where Weslaco will make their next at bat. You are watching KWES. All right, welcome back to the live action here, home of the Wildcats, Weslaco East High School. That's right, Don Ramirez, Rafael Garces, and yours truly, Fred Alfaro, with you tonight on this big matchup at District 32 5A. It's been all Wildcats, 5-0 here so far, and you're going into the bottom of the 4th. And Edward Villa now has come up, and he will try to get things going here. Bottom of the 4th for the Wildcats. See what he can do. Villa struck out last time he was here. That's going to pop up high. Second baseman has a shot at it. I'll put that away, nicely tucked away, 1 away.
There by the second baseman. Wow.
So we were talking right before the last out
Into the batter's box, number 3, Samuel Covarrubias.
on this Wildcat team. The accomplishments they've been able to do. As Covarrubias comes up. Last time had a single and brought in a couple of players who Covarrubias himself scored. Last time he was at plate. Home plate anyway. Coach says, look, we've got to continue playing against all the teams that we have coming up. It's a tough, long season. And in this district that they are in, good teams, really good teams. You just happen to have excellent teams in this district as well. Not just good ones, but excellent. state-ranked teams, as a matter of fact, and it's something that the Wildcats have done here for the majority part of the season. Back to the pitcher, Gutierrez. Quick reaction. We'll throw it at first, and that'll be strikeout number 2. Nice defensive play by the pitcher, Gutierrez, putting the glove and putting it away. That'll end out a out for Covarrubias. But now the problem, if you were to say there was a problem, is you're going to the top of the order now for the Wildcats, and this is where they've been successful in putting us some points, putting some batters on bases. Matter of fact, we're talking on the Coach Brown about the OBP, on-base percentages that this team has. You start with this young man right here. 551%. Alex does a good job of getting almost as automatic as you can be getting on first base. The ball's coming in and nothing there. Ball 1. Then Rivas and Toño are the ones that rounded off there. So they really are able to get the players, runners, at bat. That's going to be popped up high. Right fielder has a chance at it. Going to put it away. And that'll take care of that. Bottom of the 4th comes and goes. No score, quickly moving there, and that's an out. And we will take a break, put things together, give you a scoring update after this. You are watching KWES. Weslaco's Wildcats taking on the Donna Redskins here. Should be the remainder of this contest as adjustments are now being made. Pitch counts and such are coming in as some of the pitchers that they have are going up with some high pitch numbers and things like that. So that's just some things that are kind of clearing out. And back for the Donna Redskins now. Top of the 5th inning. We continue here. Ethan Rincon now. Takes a ball 1. That's thrown away. Ethan Rincon trying to spark his team here as ball gets away from the catcher. 2-0 is the count for the Wildcats. Here comes the pitch here. Low on the ground here for Alex. 3-0. Falling behind here. So a scoring update here of what happened so far. We have to go back to the 1st inning. Remember, these all of these coming obviously in the bottom of the first, bottom of the second, and then the third. Nothing in the fourth. You just started here the top of the fifth. It's going to walk Rincon. It's the first walk here this evening so far for Solis. He's had over 10 strikeouts, just one walk here this evening. So you had the bottom of the first. We had Lalo Hernandez and Aiden Gonzalez came around to score on a home run by Lalo. Second inning, another 2 runs were scored. This was the bottom of it. Solis and Covarrubias came across. Covarrubias brought him in. And then the bottom of the third, solo home run by Joey Rodriguez made it 5-0. That was at the bottom of the third, nothing on the fourth, and we just got started with the top of the fifth. That is the scoring so far here in this game. Solis just gave up a walk here. Back at it though, so he's a runner in first. 1-2 is the count. Rincon was able to get on first. Takes a little bit of a lead there from first, as he had a walk. Joaquin Gutierrez, now the pitcher, is batting here. Right up the middle. Second baseman has to handle it cleanly. Does not. Throws to first, and that's going to be safe at second and safe at first. Just a little too late. Bobbled there just enough to let the second baseman get, and just late enough so he couldn't beat that runner there. 2 on now for the Wildcats. Gutierrez with a grounder. The single comes up. Rincon was walked. So we have Austin here is going to get a bunt. Going to work Alex. Going to get him at third. Trying to go for double play, not there, but they take out. Possible setting up the run here by Rincon. 1 away now. Nicely done defensively by Solis. So nothing there by Pedroza. Ball's going to be hit hard but away. George Ramirez now comes up. After Pedroza was able to get there on a single. First base. George Ramirez now the catcher. 0-1, 1 away. Solis. Comes with the pitch. Backs a little bit. Ramirez back. One away. Ball and a strike so far. That looks like a strike, and it is. Nice pitch there by Solis. Makes it 1-2 is the count. Ball 1. Strike 2. Got a runner at second and at third. First, and that's going to strike him out. And that's going to give Solis 11 unofficially for the night. Only 1 walk. Able to get that going. George Ramirez was able to be struck out. Was Ramirez. Paul Maldonado now. Coming up. Maldonado on the night. Last time he was here, struck out. Keeping an eye on second base is Solis. Strike there. 1-1. Talked about the top hitters on this team. Seem to be the same players that you have that like to run, do a bunch of RBIs, or the RBI leaders as well. For this Weslaco East team, Doño Alex and Joey Rodriguez are your hit leaders. Over 38, 39 hits here apiece for them. Same thing with RBI. The only switch is Nate is one of the higher ones at 29 RBIs. And have a ploy there at second. First is out. And that'll retire the side. Danger is over. Looked like the Redskins might put something together. Did not go all the way through. So after 5, getting into the bottom of the 5, we're in the middle of the 5th. 5-0, favor of the Wildcats. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. You're watching KWES. Well, welcome back to the action. We are live at the campus of Weslaco East High School. We're happy you're with us. We are heading to the bottom of the 5th. That's right. Matches the score 5-on-5. Happens to be on the bottom of the 5th here. And the Wildcats will bring up Hernandez now. Coach Brown was coaching him up here right before it came, so he's all coached up. Even in the stands and showing him all sorts of things. Coach Brown very animated here this evening with his ball club. Should be. Give it, Coach. Again, bottom of the 5th. 5-0 so far. Weslaco East has done exactly what they felt they could come in and do. He popped up high. And a foul. 1-1 is the count here. Weslaco East to just to put some of those things together. Lalo Hernandez had a home run, as we mentioned earlier, and back in the first. Brought in Aiden Gonzalez. Nicely done there by Hernandez. He's the designated hitter this evening. Here in the bottom of the 5th, they're trying to see if he can get something going for them as well. That's what Lalo does here. 2-1 is the count. Gutierrez has held his own. Young freshman. little shaky in the beginning. Then he kind of settled down, and he's been able to get out of some trouble and give up some points, obviously. But against this team, you really count what you have here. It's a good experience for this young pitcher. So Way, that's going to take a walk, and the first walk here for Hernandez. Bottom of the 5th, he will walk to first base. Joey Rodriguez now comes up. Joey, really fantastic night for him. Home run. Came in the bottom of the 3rd. Rodriguez has done a fantastic job here this evening. Solid outing here for Rodriguez. As we wait here by the pitch by Gutierrez. Here it comes. Tempted. Really, Rodriguez was it. Ball 1. Gutierrez coming up of the next pitch. He's going to foul. Take a turn to the left and go foul.
1-1.
Brings the count of 1-1. Weslaco East. We mentioned ranked in the state of Texas, different parts of the season. Things change obviously as Adboss hit hard to center field, has an opportunity to do and bring it down. Nicely done. First baseman coming right back, and so that's going to be a fly out there for Hernandez. Check that, Rodriguez. Joey Rodriguez with a fly out here in the bottom of the 5th. Brings Nate Rivas. RBI specialist is what he is, and he's got an opportunity to do this again if he can. Looking for about 30 of them. Had one here earlier, so we put this together. Maybe more than an RBI. That is high and away, and that is gone. We were thinking RBI. Yeah. 2 runs are going to come in. Hernandez comes in. As Rivas, we said, RBI leader here for this team. Well, he just hit a home run. Comes in the bottom of the 5th. That will give him a score of 7-0 here. Quickly there by the coaches want to talk about it. The Redskins should. He just hit that, and once he hit it, no doubt. The sound it made and the ball carried, that ball was gone. That's a home run, 2-run home run. Rivas and Hernandez come across. 7-0 now as we kind of adjust our scoring sheet on what's happening here. As Nathan Rivas, again, bottom of the 5th. Home run for him. That's going to do it, I think. Yep. For Gutierrez, and pitches 5 innings here. The young freshman, really a learning experience up against a team that can really do things on the offensive side. You hear the term, it could have been a lot worse. Well, it's passable, but Gutierrez, given opportunity, he was able to get in there and get some things going. Looks like we're going to see another pitcher come in for the Redskins. Ethan Gutierrez seems to be the one that's going to be coming in for Joaquin Gutierrez. Comes in relief to replace in the 5th inning the other Gutierrez, who was Joaquin. Ethan Number 6, our roster. Just another young one, another young sophomore for the Redskins. Give him some time to warm up here. Give him a chance. He's a left-hander, as you can see out there. Trying to get things warmed up here. 7-0 here for the Wildcats. And again, the Wildcats have done exactly what they felt they could do here against a Redskin team that has put up a fight here, but just it's been a tough night here for them. That quickly here by the Redskins. So again, in talking about the Wildcats and talking to Coach Brown, we'll share this with you. He felt that you know, because I asked him, I said, look, Coach, tell us what's been the key to success. I mean, you had a good season last year and the year before. This year, obviously, the best year so far. What's the secret? Well, what did he answer? Going back to the players, and he said, look, these kids have played together. They play for each other. They truly like playing with each other on this field. So they've done a good job, and it shows now. And so now continues. New pitcher again. That's Ethan Gutierrez. Number 6 now is in. And as we're talking here, Perez, Joseph Perez comes up here. See what he can do. Here comes the pitch. Nice. The play there by the third baseman. He rushes and he gets him. Got to give him credit on that play. The third baseman forcing the second out. Yes, Austin Pedrosa, number 5, really put his arm into it. Remember, he's one of the top players that they have, just hasn't been able to play as much because of injury, but he's able to do well here. That'll be the second out as Joseph here is thrown out at first. Pompa now trying to get on base here and increase this lead for the Wildcats. Pitch comes. Good for ball 1, strike 1, 2 outs. So Ethan Gutierrez coming in trying to slow things down and close the door. No more scoring here for the Redskins. Nice pitch. Strike number 2 to Pompa. Pompa on the night has not been able to get on base. Showed a bunt a couple of times and made some contact. That's about it. I'm sure he's going to try to do something here. 1-2 is the pitch, or 1-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch now. Left-hander Gutierrez. Ooh, nice done curve, and that'll catch him. And that'll sit down Pompa here. And that'll do it for this inning. So we're heading to the top of the 6th, but there was damage done. A 2-run home run hit by Nate Rivas. Bringing in Hernandez. That gives us the score now, 7-0. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you some more action here on KWES. About to get started in the top of the 6 here.
As we head into
Home
the
of
sixth
the
inning,
Weslaco Wildcats. Weslaco, Texas is the site
Donna Redskins
for this
bring up number 13,
32-5A
Roel
matchup
Martinez.
between Weslaco East and Donna Redskins. Donna High Redskins. Top of the 6 is where we'll see number 13 come up. Designated hitter Roel Martinez comes up and see if he can put something together right down the middle. Shortstop will have it. Out at first. Nicely done. They're quickly moving
Handled by the
for
shortstop,
Weslaco
at third.
East.
1 out.
Shortstop Trujillo
Up to bat now.
doing a
Number
good
1,
job.
Leo Caneda.
Bring in another batter now. We're again top of the 6 is where we are. 1 away so far. That was Roel Martinez who went away there in the top of the 6 with it out. Top of the yep. Comes the pitch. Top of the order for the Redskins, as we were trying to say. Leo Bocanegra. Strikeout this evening a couple of times. Really added to the unofficial 11 strikeouts that Alex Solis has on the evening.
2-1.
Try to make it 12 against Leo Bocanegra. Shortstop for the Redskins. Pop up high. First baseman maybe a chance at it. And he is going to get it. Nice hustle there by the first baseman for Weslaco East. That's right.
2 outs.
Joseph Perez getting it done. Get on his horse and getting that right before it goes out of bounds. Nice play by Perez.
Garcia.
2 away now.
I see Garica on the card.
So we see their coming up as their left fielder. Comes the pitch by Alex. Strike 1. Ashton on the night has had a couple of strikeouts here. Been a victim of Solis, unfortunately. And he's had the opportunity to do more. Ashton counted on him to do something here this evening, and again he's met a tough night really against Solis. Ashton falls to 1-2, 2 away. Oh, that looked good. No. 2 outs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ashton trying to survive here. Here comes the pitch by Solis. Likes the fastball around this area, just a little off the corner there. Brings the full count now. What do you think we'll do? And that is a strikeout. And that's, if you guessed strikeout, you were right. That'll be unofficially number 12 for Solis as we head to the bottom of the 6 with Weslaco East in the lead, 7-0. We'll be right back with more action here on KWES. Don't blame Coach. Home of the Wildcats, Weslaco East High School. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th. All of Weslaco East so far. 7-0. Weslaco East. It kind of rhymes, doesn't it? Had a good game here this evening. See if he could do some damage and continue to do so. They've got plenty of lead here. But Solis, Tony, young freshman for this Weslaco East Wildcat team, has a 1-1 count by Gutierrez. We saw Joaquin Gutierrez start off the game, young freshman. Around the 5th inning, we saw Ethan Gutierrez come on in, young sophomore, and we see him there, number 6. Pitching now for the Redskins. Solis had a single back the second inning. Trying to get on bases well again. A little low and in. 3-1 is the count here. Coach is asking him to get closer into the box here, see what that does. Facing a walk here. No, right now it's going to hit it up to right field. That's going to drop for Solis. And Solis will get to first base. Solid hit there for Solis. Thought maybe that the pitcher might give up a walk, but no. Single for Tony Solis here in the bottom of the 6th. Edward Villa, number 10. Yeah, we had a nice night here for Villa. Second baseman for the Wildcats. A senior on this team for Edward. One of the seniors that has been together with his core group of seniors for about 4 years now, 4-year returner. Pops that high. First baseman, nope, that's gonna go away foul. First baseman's trying to make a play on it. Didn't happen. Seven runs here scored by Weslaco East, and again, just good solid hits coming by Weslaco. The pitching by Alex Solis has been fantastic. Obviously, giving up no runs here. 0 runs so far. Shut the whole offense down for the Redskins. Alex did. So far, as we mentioned, unofficially 12 strikeouts on the night for Solis. The younger Solis, oh, right in the middle there for Villa. Tony is at first base trying to give his Wildcat team a bit more of a larger lead. Slider. Comes the pitch. Right outside, nothing there.
1-2 to Villa.
Coach Peña, talking to him with the Redskins. Yeah, when you start off the season, he said you're looking at the team and you've got some positives. But it's interesting in talking to him when you lose athletes, whether it be to injuries. It's going to go grounder, picked up by the shortstop. It's going to go to first. It's going to go high, and it's going to get some other players to run around here. Solis got to second. Villa got to first. So it's a single there for Villa. So you have runners on the corners here.
Comes number 3, Samuel Covarrubias.
Villa and Solis. Covarrubias now, we'll tell you this. Back in the bottom of the second, was able to bring in Solis around. And so he's got another opportunity here in the bottom of the 6th to do the same and increase the lead here for Weslaco. Will Samuel do it? Ducks on that one. So we were saying that Coach Peña said, look, season starts off well, you've got some players on, and then the season starts to get rolling, and you suffer some injuries, and then you lose players to other sports. Now, it's interesting because you think about baseball, and at the time of the year that it happens, basically the spring season, not necessarily the spring season that we have here in the 956, but you get the point. He says, look, we lost some players to another sport. And I said, well, what sport are we talking about? Maybe soccer, a fall sport that goes into spring, some other. He says, no, we lost some to golf. So some of the baseball players on this team went on to play golf. So sometimes that kind of comes together. And if you play golf and you like golf, well, that's great. But Coach Peña, unfortunately, is going to be hit solidly by Covarrubias. And we said earlier, it's going to fall into right field. And that's going to bring in Solis here in the bottom of the 6th. Covarrubias with a single brings in Tony Solis. That increases their lead now to 8-0. Covarrubias bringing in Tony. He scores here in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order now for Weslaco East. Alex Solis here back batter's box. Bottom of the 6th, we give you a single for Covarrubias. Brings around Tony Solis. 8-0 here. Bottom of the 6th. 1 run.
2-0.
Interesting conversation there with Coach Peña. We were talking about this team and what develops throughout the season. And I remember last year, very positive on the way they ended their season. Thought that this was going to continue. That's 2-1 is the count. Solis has been active here this evening. Obviously on the mound, he's done a fantastic job. But he also does it. Had a double back in the bottom of the 2nd. And a wide that's going to fall right in the right field. Solis is going to get a double, and he's going to bring in Villa and Covarrubias. Villa and Covarrubias come in. Covarrubias come in for 2 runs.
And that will be the ball game.
Brought in there.
Weslaco East Wildcats 10 and Donna North 0.
We're trying to write this down because really as we kind of put the numbers together, we're trying to give you an explanation. That reaches it to 10 runs here this evening, and because of the run rule, that'll end it. We'll tell you that Villa and Covarrubias came across on a hit by the pitcher here, Solis. So we'll give him credit. Let's wrap this up as we kind of see the players shake hands. Villa and Covarrubias come around. We see Solis go to first. Doesn't matter there because the runs come around, makes it a 10-0. So after this, basically after the 6th inning, we're done. And that'll end it from Weslaco East High School. The Weslaco East Wildcats improve now to 14-1 and continue the road to the playoffs. Thank you once again for joining us. On behalf of Don Ramirez, Rafael Garces, yours truly, Fred Alfaro, we appreciate the time. We will see you next time here on KWES.